Welcome to the podcast. Play it forward. Everybody's dancing. Yeah. Welcome to the podcast. Play it forward. Everybody's dancing. Yeah. So, like the song said, welcome to the podcast.
Yep.
Play it forward.
Welcome to the podcast, Play It Forward. And yes, indeed.
We are dancing.
We are dancing. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what we want to do first is explain, basically lay out our mission statement of what this podcast is all about, what the movement, the Play It Forward movement's all about. So, I guess, Mogswamp, you want to go ahead and start that off?
Yeah, sure. So, Play It Forward, obviously, Adulgit came up with it because he's the one who names everything.
I come up with everything. That's a little known fact, although it's becoming more known because I won't shut up about it.
Repeatedly
yeah,
saying it.
I come up with everything that everyone uses everywhere.
So Play It Forward, very clever play on words.
Yep, hashtag.
But yeah, so if you just think about Pay It Forward, it's the same sort of thing. We're trying to, overall, the goal is to move the community forward, the Minecraft community forward, and have it continue to be the beautiful oasis of constructive comments on YouTube that it currently is and has been.
And to get it to push it forward, to make it more than it is or was even. It's basically just like, think of it like there's other movements out there supporting people, this and that. This is more of an active movement. We want to take action, and even if it inconveniences yourself, take the time to support someone else, whether it's emotionally, whether it's financially, if you help raise money for someone if they need a new PC, or even if it's just something like they need food, like we've seen people in the community that just can't even get food. So it's about supporting people in those ways, and then for the people that are struggling and working hard with their channels, helping discover these people that are overlooked and actively promoting them. For
Give them
example,
some recognition, help uncover some hidden talent.
For example, we got the Play It Forward streams that I'm going to be doing, and anyone else can do these as well. Basically, you just pick someone that you want to support, you want to promote, and my case, for me, the first one I did, by the time you hear this, would have been the Cthulhu 2 one, and the purpose of that stream was to promote his channel, get it out there to people that don't know about him, and realize how good of a guy this guy is and what kind of talent he has, and then bring awareness to like ways you can help him by checking out his channel, by watching the videos, by liking, subscribing, favoriting, by going to his Patreon page, and if you have the money to be able to do it, donate $1 or $2 a month, help the guy keep going and build that motivation to continue doing this. If you like the content, support the guy any way possible. There's ways you can do this without actually spending $1. Maybe turn off ad block.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be about money. Right. So just things to expect here. We think that we have a pretty good idea of like how the YouTube system works, or at least an insider look, right? We've been doing it for 2 years. We've, especially Adulgit has done incredible amounts of networking. So we know a lot of people. We have a lot of different perspectives, and by inviting guests on the show, we'd like to, sort of discuss, certain things about the YouTube, almost ecosystem and how everything works, and get to know the guests as well.
Yeah, kind of get their views on the whole situation, because we have our own views, you guys have your own views, we're going to learn something, you're going to learn something, everyone's going to learn everyone else's perspective and kind of figure out step by step, day by day, the TV show.
In the end.
Yeah, in the end, yeah.
In the end, everybody has their own opinion, but just by discussing it over and over again, it helps people to form those opinions, those, ideologies, I suppose, that will help to sort of, if you're going to make your own channel, help to guide you there, or help you to support the people that you like to watch. So yeah, you can definitely expect some funny bits. We're going to have some funny segments.
Yep. Every show, we're going to start off with something funny, just a little segment, just to kind of screw around, loosen up the people,
Limber up.
Limber up, do your stretches.
We're definitely you can expect a lot of live streams that will be, doing the Play It Forward thing.
Yep.
So helping other people get support, helping other people if they need a buck or two. And just discussing YouTube in general and the great community we have.
Figuring out the YouTube condition.
The YouTube condition.
Yep.
The secret. Okay. So, speaking of having a laugh, Dualget, steal the floor.
Okay, this is a segment that I've created. If you watched our old Red Cube podcast, we had, what was it, the Rumor Mill was the first segment that we did, kind of similar like this. We're going to switch it up every episode. We're going to do a different segment. Of course, they'll come back after a while, but we kind of want to do something different every time. This time I came up with a little segment called Playing the Percentages, and how this is going to work is we're going to each take turns saying a situation like, what's the percentage that this would have happened if this was different, or what's the percentage that this will happen, and we both kind of discuss it a little bit and give our number to that statement. So do you want to go first, or should I take it?
You got the first one.
Okay, the first one is not YouTube related, but it was something I was thinking about recently. And we all know Ice Ice Baby, Vanilla Ice, right? And we all...
Ice Baby.
Doom, 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 doom. Put that little tss at the end so it's different.
Yeah.
But, and then MC Hammer, of course, as well. They kind of are in the same boat, where they had huge hits, and they majorly sampled songs that were already big hits, you know?
Right.
So what is the percentage that if they did not use those riffs, if they did not sample them in their songs, that they would have even became a one-hit wonder? Because if you look at their other songs, they didn't really do too well beyond that, you know? So you have, since I'm naming it, you have to lay out your percentage first.
Okay, well, it's hard because there are one-hit wonders that didn't copy things.
Exactly.
But they usually have something unique about them.
It's weird,
There's
too,
another one I'm thinking of. The Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's
Oh,
Delight.
yeah, Rapper's Delight, yeah.
That's Good Times by... Who is that? What song is that? Who's that by?
I'm not sure, but I know what song you're talking about.
Yeah.
Also the thing is, as well, is there was rumors that at least one of the guys was using some other rap, like Fly Casanova or something like that. He actually took some of his raps and spells out his name in the rap, you know? So that's another thing too. They kind of did take a little bit. And I think what it was, that's almost a similar situation back then, is because in the underground, hip hop and rap and everything was gaining steam, but they're the first ones to kind of jump out there and just someone pushed them into the spotlight and they're like, okay, here's your big stars, you know? And so if anyone else that would have done that pretty much would have been successful, you know?
And they're pretty much credited with the first hip-hop song ever.
Yes.
So, alright, my percent, I'll give it a flat 33.
33%? Okay.
A flat 33.
A flat 33. Like an old root beer sitting out on the windowsill.
So, in other words, I'm saying 2/3 of it is that they copied someone else's track, at least.
Okay, let me analyze this a little bit. They kind of are almost similar cases. They had the gimmicks, like the hair, the pants, the dancing. There's a lot of similar things there. And they were around at the same time as well. In Vanilla Ice, I think he had the benefit of being like a white guy. So that was kind of unique himself. MC Hammer, he wasn't as unique. I mean, the parachute pants, that was something new, but I mean, what the hell's that, really? So right. I think if I still have to lump them together, considering that, I would say, it's tough. Probably not much more than what you said, maybe like 40%, a solid 40%, just based on the fact that, I think Vanilla Ice could have been successful if he didn't use that song, just because it's a Queen song, it's older, and the audience is different, you know, because that's a rock song and he's making like a hip hop song out of it. MC Hammer basically stole a song that was already in the same genre, you know. So that was going to be a hit with any lyrics to it, you know. So Vanilla Ice, I think because he crossed genres kind of with it and was still successful, and he kind of had a little bit of a gimmick to him being like a white rapper, which wasn't around a lot there. I think he still would have been successful either way, as long as the song was decent enough, which it was. So I think solid 40% there.
Okay. All right.
So I'm winning so far. I have higher percentage.
You're winning. Okay. All right. Here's my question for you. What is the percent chance that Miley Cyrus within the next year will do something that genuinely surprises you? Like,
you mean like shocking surprising, or just any kind of surprising?
Something that like makes you like double take or raise your eyebrows, and you're genuinely like, I was not expecting this.
And that could go either way, positive or negative?
Yeah.
Okay. In the next year, I think the thing is it's hard because everything she's done is so predictable because everyone knows that whole mentality where she's desperately trying to shed her Disney image, you know?
Even her dad has done the same thing. Like, there are these stars trying desperately to remain in the spotlight. Mm-hmm. Even her dad, Billy Ray Cyrus, made Achy Breaky 2.
Oh man, don't even bring that up here.
And so there's all these, like, ridiculous gimmicks, just grabs for attention. Mm-hmm. I don't know. What's your take?
That she does something genuinely surprising in the next year that I did not see coming. I will say a gaseous 78%. Because the thing is, with celebrities, there's always something that they're going to try to grab for it. Who knows, maybe she'll just like flip a switch and all of a sudden be normal, and then no one will expect it.
Exactly,
but then,
no one's going to expect that.
Yeah, but then she goes back to how she was, like, a couple weeks later. Like, she marries some guy, no one expects it, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, it was just a stupid thing. So, I don't know, like, I don't know, it's hard to tell, because generally speaking, there's not a lot that is going to surprise you when you know the pattern of these people. Mm-hmm. But I think people, like, I never would have expected Achy Breaky 2. That thing was terrible and awful.
Exactly.
Like,
I never expected that. So.
And that's not like anything major, but I'm sure there's something that they can do. Maybe she'll redo one of her Hannah Montana videos, but like naked during it. That would probably surprise me, you know? That's something that she could do.
I'm wondering, like, do they have their own almost like advertising departments as people who are like putting this to like, you know, what's it called?
Like a publicity agent?
Yeah. Like a publicity agent or, just an agent. Someone who goes out and is like, okay, you're falling out of the spotlight now. It's time for you to like eat dog food on Conan or something like.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them do, but I think these people that go way overboard, from what I just would guess, I wouldn't think they would have anyone there because there seems like no filter most of the time. But I'm sure Billy Ray Cyrus is really calculated in everything he's doing. It seems like he's like he's even mentioned his daughter in that song, you know, the Achy Breaky 2 song. So he's kind of trying to play off of his own daughter's fame, which is ridiculous considering what she's doing and how she's putting herself out there. I mean, there's not much she could do to stop it, but you know.
I'm going to say 80%. I'm going to go with you. 80 to 90, because even though I'm hard to surprise, I just know they're going to come up with something.
Yeah, there's always something, and even if it's something little, it's still going to be a surprise, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's always something. In a year's time, odds are most likely, you know.
All right, your turn.
Okay, this is a tough one here. This doesn't have a time limit on it, but it's YouTube related and our community related, our sub-community, our sub-community. It is Rockhouse server. What is the percentage that at any point in time, any member of the server, including ourselves, or I guess any future member as well, breaks 100,000 subscribers?
Okay, well, we've got how many members?
I think we have 13 or 14 or something. Or
13 or 14
I think
members.
It's 14.
We've selected them because of their talent.
Yes.
And once you break a certain threshold, I mean, you've said that, you know, this has no time limit, right?
Yeah.
And even though there can only be so many people on the top, I'd say the likelihood that one of these talented people that we have on our server, because there's so many of us, at some point gets big enough that they pass the threshold where the momentum just carries them to 100,000.
Yeah.
The likelihood's got to be far greater than 50. It's because I wouldn't leave it up to a flip of a coin, really. So I'm going to leave it at a 75.
75? Okay.
So, I was going to say 90, but I'm so skeptical sometimes because you never know what's going to happen with YouTube. This whole thing could fall apart.
Exactly, that's the thing. They could shoot themselves in the foot too many times and then YouTube just crumbles under itself, you know, or just the whole community can die out because people are sick of watching video game videos, you know?
So That's why I lowered, and I'm gonna say like 75.
Plus, I never said a gaming channel too. Keep in mind too. Yeah. There's people that are talented on the server that have the potential of going and doing another channel and
Patch M147.
Exactly, right?
The most successful porn star in the industry
on YouTube.
On YouTube,
he's gonna do strictly YouTube porn, but it's gonna be blurred.
Just strip shows, strip teases.
Strip teases. Oh man! Okay. You said 75, right? Or was it more? 75.
75.
I would say, just knowing the time frame, like even though we have no time limit, just the time frame of YouTube and what we perceive it to be. Although it's always, I think we could both agree, it's surprised us how long things have lasted that we thought wouldn't last as long, just because we kind of are in that. It's like almost everyone's in this, like, here 1 minute, gone the next mentality on the internet. But it seems like on YouTube, it's extended a lot more than we've thought. There, of course,
a lot
are the
of
channels.
Things have. I mean, look at Facebook. Everybody said, just like MySpace, it would crumble, and it really hasn't yet. I mean, it's not growing substantially as it was, but there's only so many people in the world.
Yeah, I think what they have that's helping them is the whole gaming thing too, which Twitter's a little bit different, so they're kind of not losing too much traction with Twitter there. But yeah, I think that's the thing. There's still the potential for anyone on the server to go off and make some other channel be successful, knowing some of the people we have on. I would think I don't know if I'll go as high as 75%, just because I'm not too sure about like how long everything will last and how long everyone will dedicate to it. If it was okay, let's just say this situation. This is what I'll base my decision on. If everyone on the server never quit and always gave 100% of their all to YouTube, and this is doing any kind of channel, gaming or something else, I would say 100% chance that one of them breaks that. That's what I'm going to say.
Exactly.
Otherwise, maybe 70%, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's one from me.
Okay.
What do you think is the % chance that it's going to rain tomorrow?
Where?
Wherever you live.
Oh, where I live, 0%.
Okay.
It's rained like probably 5 times this entire winter. Seriously, I'm not even joking. Like,
it's 10% for me. I googled it.
So. Oh, there you go. I should have done that. I'll look it up right now. Let's see.
Okay, do it. Chance of rain tomorrow is what I googled. It knows. Google knows.
You didn't even put your city? You just put chance of rain?
No, just chance of rain tomorrow.
Yep. Precipitation, 0%. High of 82 degrees. There you go.
Oh, man.
Exactly.
High of 34.
Yeah, that's a big difference there. SoCal to north, or more eastern, kind of north, New England.
Right. Yep. Okay. SoCal.
So yeah, now we're down to the final one. Yours was what, 10%? Mine was 0%.
Yep.
I think one of us is winning at this point.
It's you.
Oh, okay, good, thanks. Here is a good one. This is the one we've all been waiting to. It's all been leading up to this. The final question in Playing the Percentages this week is...
Wait, no, I have one after you.
Really, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. What's the chance? What's the percentage you have one after me?
100%, man.
Damn it. Okay, never mind. Well, this is the one that's going to outlive yours anyway. Okay, Etho. No one knows what he looks like, right? What's the percentage chance that he wears a toupee?
Oh, man. Okay. Well, I'm actually thinking about this logically. It's got to be pretty low. He's younger than you.
Yeah.
He's I think in his 20s, I would guess.
Okay.
Well, no, I don't even think. It's a definite. He's in his probably the first half of his 20s, maybe.
The thing is, too, like, if he was losing his hair that age, which is not impossible, you know, he would probably... Younger people are more likely gonna go to the route of just shaving it, you know. So.
Right, or like having a buzz cut, or I don't know. Even if you're balding, a buzz cut looks okay for a while. So I'm gonna go with a ripe 3%.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a. Let's see. I'm gonna go with a fully grown 1% chance on that one.
Okay.
I'm not gonna rule it out completely, but yeah.
You would not bet your mother's life.
Yeah, definitely would not.
Unless you wanted to kill her.
Oh, man, there you go.
All right.
Gotta think of whose life someone to bet.
The real final, the 100% final question.
The final question on the SAT here.
Is, what is the percentage chance we will match the views we got on the nearly identical podcast we did for the Red Cube podcast about a month or two ago?
Do you have the numbers on that right now or no?
Let me pull them up.
Okay, pull it up really quick.
Okay. You sing a song while I'm doing it.
Welcome to the podcast. Play it forward. Everybody's dancing. Yeah. Is that good?
Perfect. Yep. Okay, the number is 441 views on the one we did
441?
with Cherry and Trevor. Yeah, 441.
Probably one of the lowest ones on that channel.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is, actually.
We match or surpass that ever in the history or within a certain amount of time?
No, well, yeah, within a reasonable amount of time.
Within a month or two?
Yeah, because, I mean, you gotta keep in mind, this channel had 500, plus subscribers when we made that video, so.
Yeah. So yeah, we're starting with a fresh channel, no subscribers whatsoever. We have a good guest, a bigger guest than probably has ever been on the other podcasts, besides, of course, the host. I don't know, because considering our guest for today, which we probably didn't even mention yet, Pungence, I think... Yep. I think within a month or two, I think the possibilities of us surpassing that view total would probably be, I'll say, 85%.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I'd say, within a month, I'd go with, somewhere in the 80s.
Because that's not that high of a
within
view
like
total.
a week, maybe like a 30 or 40%.
Within a week, I would say 45%. I wouldn't go so far as 50-50.
What's the chance that someone who started listening at the beginning of the podcast is still listening now?
0%.
3, maybe 0.0.
Okay, so all of you that are no longer listening, interview time.
Yeah, it's time for the interviews. So we're gonna run over there. We're gonna go get Pungence. He's on his way here.
We have to pick him up at the airport.
He has a big meeting.
He had a big ketchup fiasco.
Yeah, he spilled ketchup all over his suit.
Yeah, which is weird because he doesn't even eat condiments. He never uses them ever.
He hates ketchup. He jumped out a window or something, and ketchup got on him somehow.
It was weird.
I don't remember the details.
It's a whole other thing. We can't really get into it now.
Right. So we're going to go to the airport now, and through the magic of editing, it'll only seem like a second for you guys. Well, it's about that time on the podcast that we introduce our guest, and this week we have, just your average Joe.
Oh, nice one there. I see what you did.
Yep. His name's Joe, guys.
AKA Stinky Joe.
Stinky Joe. Why don't you say hi, Joe?
What's up? I'm best known as Stinky Joe.
Stinky Joe. Stinky Joe the Ass Man. The Assyrian...
the artist formerly known as the Ass Man.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
I tried to change my YouTube channel name to that, but, it's just too difficult.
Yeah.
Right.
It got flagged and deleted within minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Google
right.
Plus.
I ran
We got some glitchy stuff there.
Yep.
Oh boy.
So,
You glitched out.
What's your real name?
Real name?
Well, your real YouTube...
My real channel name?
Yes.
It's the channel name is Pungence, but if you put it in the address bar, you gotta throw in the Assyrian Assassin.
Isn't there some numbers in there too?
There's a number one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, somehow somebody stole Assyrian Assassin. I'm gonna hunt them down and ask them very nicely to hand it over.
So guys, for one, just starting out, perfect example of how not to create a YouTube channel. Make it a name that you don't even want to use and put numbers in there arbitrarily so that people have a hard time even spelling it, even if they know the word. So, in spite of all that, you've done pretty well, so that's pretty amazing.
Against all odds, it's been okay.
It's been an uphill battle. You are like a salmon swimming upriver.
Right.
Well,
exactly.
Well, speaking of YouTube names, perfect segue, segue here. Where does your channel name, Pungence, where does that name come from? 'Cause I've heard you tell the story before, and it's an interesting one.
We know, but our audience, they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know.
Right, they might not know.
You gotta give them the goods.
It's a good story. The name came from my brain.
Oh, nice.
And
That's
then,
it. The end.
And then I put it on internet, and then it went from there.
Okay. So, profit.
Right. No. The real story is, I knew I wanted to make a channel, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to name it. So I got to thinking, and I remembered a pretty funny memory from growing up. My brother and I, we used to be into basketball. Mm-hmm. And we used to really be into basketball.
Back in the MJ days? I'm not talking about Michael Jackson?
Right. Back in those days, yeah. And to the point where we had a personal trainer. And, you if you met the guy, you might not instantly think he was a personal trainer. He just didn't look like one. But the guy had a good resume. There were some people he trained who went to the NBA, which, at the time, was my brother and my goal.
Do you know any of the names that he did train?
Yes. Yes, I do.
So,
anyway. Yeah. No, I don't know if you're familiar with Mateen Cleaves. No.
Cleaving.
He's cleaving the Mateens.
Okay.
He was on Michigan State when they won the championship as the Flintstones.
Okay.
He played a little bit in the NBA. Now he is one of the guys, I don't know, what do you even call it, where if you're watching a Detroit Pistons game, he's not the announcer. He's not the announcer, but like at the halftime break, whatever you call that.
Oh yeah.
He's one of those guys.
Commentarist, I don't know.
Yeah. and he does a great job.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got this trainer, and we go there, and at the end of every session, there'd be some other people joining us. So at the end of every session, he'd say, and he kind of had a weird voice. Like it was hard to understand him at first.
Right.
I'll try to emulate it as well as I can. So he'd say like, "All right, what'd you learn?" And we'd have to go around and say what we learned that day in training. So if we weren't, he could see our stats in the paper. So if we weren't performing at the level he expected us to, he'd call us out. Like, there's a time my brother, he's looking at his stats. He said, "I'm looking at the papers. John, 0 points. Pungence over here scoring 34 points." And then we just look at each other like, who's Pungence? Like, we knew everybody who was training, and we had never heard of this Pungence guy. He kept saying the name like every time.
No one even matched the stats or anything either. Just
right,
like he picked up a paper somewhere else.
Just an imaginary friend he has.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just like, who is this Pungence guy? So it was just kind of a running joke. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, you know what? That's going to be my name.
And
that's
my
channel name.
Did you ever find out who he was trying to talk to?
No.
That's amazing.
No. He's a pure mystery man.
He's a pure mystery man.
Not even someone whose name was close to Pungence. Not like a Paul or a...
No.
Nothing.
Florence?
Florence?
I can't think of a name. Florence is probably the closest thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a guy who would score 34 points, though.
I know, exactly.
If your name is Florence.
Yeah.
Well, I mean offense. I don't know about you guys. But yeah, I'll own that.
Wow.
Yes, that is a good story. And by the way, for those of you that don't know, his brother is the famed B00.
Mm-hmm. And then that's where the name comes from.
The one, the only.
That's where the name comes from back in the day when he would score 0 points, B00, because he'd get double zeros in the stat line, while Pungence would get the 100.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right.
Joe, not the actual Pungence. The Pungence would get 34 points. You were even better than Pungence. But then you became Pungence, and so now it's kind of confusing to explain the situation.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm a
Pungence
very,
is more of a role, you know? Pungence is like Santa Claus in in Tim Allen's interpretation.
It's like, it's like like you go out there, you have a good game. Oh man, that guy was totally Pungence out there today. You know, that's what it became for basketball. It's NBA like inner lingo, like not a lot of people know about it. It's kind of went that way.
Only street ball.
Oh yeah, of course, and one baby
Underground.
all day.
It's a household basketball name.
Yeah. Well, speaking of your brother, B00, and the B team, how are you enjoying the Attack of the B Team mod pack so far?
Dude, enjoy is not a good enough word. If there was a word to describe enjoying that were a higher level than just flat out enjoying, I would use that word.
Orgasmic?
Mm-hmm.
But,
yes. There it is.
There you go.
That's the word. No, I love it, man. I really love it. The only problem I'm having is that I don't have more time to play it because of, jobs.
Mm-hmm. Your secret job.
Catch up.
Secret job, yeah. But, I'm very grateful I have a full-time job, but the only disadvantage is less time playing
Video games.
Attack of the B Team. Yep.
Every time you want to record, you got to go take a drive because it's Tuesday.
You got that right.
Yep.
Every day's a Tuesday in my book.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
No, but I do love it. I do love the mod pack. I think Generic is the one who kind of chose which mods would be.
Oh, so he championed it?
Yeah, he is the champion.
He's the champion of the galaxy.
Yeah, he is the galaxy champion. And, dude, I couldn't imagine a better lineup. It's just amazing. And the way that they integrate with each other, it's awesome. And with any mod pack, there's going to be bugs and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. They're getting worked out, and it's really been pretty smooth for the most part.
The good thing that you guys are lucky with as well is that since you have the bigger channels backing it, is that you have a lot of influence over the mod developers, and in terms of getting stuff done in a timely manner too. You could say oh well, here's a bug here, and they're going to fix it right away because of course they're on a bigger stage, as opposed to if it's just some small mod pack and they're oh here's a bug, and then months later it finally gets fixed, So that's what's good about it too.
The real game of Minecraft.
Yeah, there you go.
And the guys that are working on it are highly skilled too. They know exactly what to do.
Don't try
It'd be different if they were yeah, okay, we'll get working on that as soon as possible, and just running into a lot of problems. But I am just blown away at how quick they are to fix this stuff. It's awesome working with them.
I'm wondering, what are you enjoying more, the crowd you're playing with or the mod pack itself? I mean, obviously you're enjoying both, but
yeah, no, it's definitely both. I haven't been able to do too many collaborations yet. We're all kind of doing our own thing, and it's kind of working towards a lot more collaborations, which is going to be coming up soon. So I think that's going to be kind of bring it to another level too.
Kind of everyone's getting set up.
Yeah. As of right now, it's it's just mainly playing the mod pack and getting to know it. But even when you're on the server and someone else is on, it's just cool, chatting it up and stuff, So to answer your question, I'm gonna say both. Yeah. Even though that's not what you're looking for.
I've noticed.
I answered it when I asked it.
I've noticed you, doing more videos with your brother, so right there's an example of you're getting more collabs out of it, and with your brother as well, which, if anyone has actually been following your channel, that's the number one most requested thing is doing videos with B00. And so now you guys get to do it. It's an easy avenue for it because you're both on a server together finally.
Right.
I mean, he was on the Hermitcraft server for a little bit, but it was kind of just a little gimmick thing and it didn't last that long. But now since you guys are both invested in this, it's cool you guys have something you can work on together as well.
Yeah, it's great. And, for a while, people would say, hey, do more videos with your brother, blah. You get all those requests, and it's not that we didn't want to do anything together, but like you said, it's a little difficult when you're not on the same server.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool that it led up to a lot of desire and a lot of demand for it, and people are really hungry for it, and now they're getting it. So it's just kind of cool.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
And now you're going to be like now you're going to be like Minecraft UHC, never do anything for a year and then just do one every week. So there you go.
yeah.
Daily Ep01 Pungence videos coming at you live.
Okay. So here's another question for you, which is like, what do you credit? Can you trace specifically any one thing that you could credit for getting your channel to where it's at today? Because like I know all three of us really have had our struggles, and I'm sure every YouTuber actually.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're the oddballs who just explode on a certain day, you know, but a lot of us have struggled a lot, and I know you're one of those people, so I was wondering, how do you feel about the size of your channel, what's worked and what hasn't, etc.?
Yeah. YouTube growth it's a funny thing. Like you said, just you put up something and someone might just explode just nonstop. And then for other people, they put up great content and it's just very slow, which, like you said, all three of us, we've had some, our struggles going along. It's not easy. It's not easy getting growth. And especially when you're really proud of the content you're putting out. The biggest thing, of course, obviously, is everyone who's hit that subscribe button, hit the video to watch, hit the likes. That's where all the thanks goes to. And as far as, what worked, what hasn't, that's something I kind of knew I was going to have to get into even when I started. Before I started my channel, I'm kind of a perfectionist by nature.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't want to get going until I had everything set,
Right.
I wanted to have, amazing channel art, amazing thumbnails, storylines.
The proper microphone.
Yeah, just want to have everything set up and then go into it. But then, I realized, that's what I want, but I realized the whole process, it's kind of a journey. It's kind of like life, it's like a trial and error thing. So, as I was going, I was like, let's just do the best I can and then, try a bunch of stuff, see what works, see what doesn't. As far as pure growth goes, the biggest thing has just been, getting involved with communities and, making new friendships and, doing collaborations and stuff. That's huge. And for me, I think it makes better video. I personally enjoy making a video with someone as opposed to recording a video by myself. I feel like I can make a decent video by myself, but I feel like it's just even more fun when you're with someone. And it's
the pros far outweigh the cons. I mean,
the
commentary flows easier. The fans seem to like it more.
Yeah.
You're crossing channels at the same time, promoting each other.
Crossing streams. They said not to do it in Ghostbusters, but but it works on YouTube.
It works in this avenue. But and it's awesome. And it's cool too, just getting to make new friends and like Minecon. We all got to meet each other and stuff like that. It's just fun. As far as what I've noticed doesn't work on the channel, I didn't take any notes on that.
You think you're bad? Everything works for you then? What the hell, dude?
No. But
so
as far as it's almost like everything. It's like nothing works except a few things.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, if you put up a single player view, that's great for the people that are already there, a video on your own. That's great for the people that are there, but something I've found is it's not really going to grow the channel too much unless
big.
Yeah, unless you have some people shouting you out or giving you some attention, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think with the single player stuff, it's always got to be, for it to be successful, something that's kind of unique, either some kind of gimmick you involve with it, or maybe it's a new game that people don't know about. Because Minecraft's single player LPs used to be a lot more popular than they are now, but I mean, now there's no way you can do a really successful one because it's so overdone and, like the top guys already did everything. But if you get in on a game that's early, that's maybe a single player, that's something you can do that's going to be successful. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but it's possible. But
right.
like you said, the collab stuff is most likely your ticket to being
the big
successful.
Videos. The videos, along with the collabs, those videos that, you put on Reddit and they get hundreds of upvotes, or, the comeback Wolfie kind of things. Like that sort of, in fact, like, I've noticed more and more, I've been trying to replicate that success. I have, my own series, my Flat World, and every once in a while I post it to Reddit, and every time I get this boost, like a couple hundred subscribers. First time I ever did it, doubled my subscribers overnight. So, but then other things I post on there just get, people don't even look at them.
Yeah.
So, for example, today I noticed that there's not a lot of videos on building furniture in Minecraft that are just a long list, a lot of them are one little thing, oh, here's something you can build, and then, it's a series or something like that. So I thought if I put together all these things of furniture in one video, maybe people will like that. So I posted it to Reddit, and it hasn't gone anywhere yet, but it's that sort of, it's a lot extra work. I spent hours on that versus just a little Let's Play.
Right, and that's a big thing too, is like you guys said, doing something different, doing something that takes a little bit more time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People love seeing that. If you're just putting up a Let's Play video and you're just playing the game, you just gotta think from the viewer's perspective. Why am I going to watch this over anybody else?
Exactly.
You make it your own, you make it unique, you put the time into it, and then now people have a reason to watch.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's another question, and you actually mentioned Minecon earlier, which kind of made me think about it, was, I've always just wondered about you, because it's kind of a rare case, how you feel about the connection with your channel to B-dubs, because it's got its pros and cons, and because, I mean, I imagine it would be annoying to be seen more as, B00's brother than as Pungence at some points. Almost like if I could draw a parallel, if there's this really popular kid and then his girlfriend, right, in high school or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of parallels like that in the movie industry and stuff, like Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, brothers where one of them is really popular, another one is trying to match that in some way, and it's hard to erase that stigma unless you're just so unique where you split off and no one really ties you together as brothers.
Right.
Right. Yeah, and honestly, it's never really bothered me. Along the way, kind of earlier on, I saw a lot of comments, where people say, "Oh, you're B00's brother," and then people say, "Hey, stop saying that. That probably bothers him." And it never really has. We're brothers. People notice it, and there's no reason for me to be upset about it.
Yeah. Right.
I like it. When I got into it, I actually posted my first, couple YouTube videos before he had, but it was more Call of Duty based on a different channel.
Right.
And, I just kind of, the time that it took, I just took a little break, wasn't sure if I was going to come back, and I saw him getting really into it, and I was like, you know what, I do want to have a YouTube channel, so I got it going, and in the back of my mind, I always thought, when we do stuff together, it's going to be super fun.
Yeah.
And I kind of think of it when we play together, we're brothers, and I think that's really entertaining for people.
Yeah.
But as far as being associated as his brother, it is a little bit more difficult when we're putting out the same style of video.
Yeah.
I still have to make it my own. But eventually, if one day I do get a lot more time, I have a lot of ideas how to make my channel stand out a little bit more, just to make it, more mine.
Right.
Because I think my brother, a lot of his stuff is focused a lot on building, and, he's got a lot of fun little side series, and he's just amazing at all that. So I'm just thinking, well, with my channel, I'll probably, maybe do some other stuff just to be like, when people think of big YouTubers, you associate them with something,
Right.
So right now, I really don't associate myself with too much. My skin is like Goku. A lot of people know I like DBZ, but eventually, I got some stuff in the works that hopefully that'll be what, the big thing my channel's associated with.
Any hints on any of that, or is that top secret?
0 hints. If I gave a hint, it would just give it away. Yeah.
That's fair.
Oh, you're going to switch to Street Fighter because it's better, or what? Is that the...
What did you say? Dragon Ball Z?
No.
I'm gonna step away from this before this podcast.
Everyone knows that. Yeah, everyone knows that Dragon Ball Z ripped off Street Fighter. They went into the future, ripped it off, and then went back into the past to make it look like they invented it.
Exactly.
Oh man, if they could make a time machine, I think they win.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you have a time machine, you're gonna win no matter what, because you can always go back and redo anything.
Right.
Yeah, I've always just thought it was really interesting. You and B00 both having channels, because I know both myself and Gary here, we have brothers as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you can have a great connection with someone, like just going to your brother. Him and Generic B obviously have like a great sort of, vibe when they record videos, but there's something different about, growing up together. Like, you can only know someone so well over the internet.
Yeah.
Right.
And we've all been doing this for 2 or 3 years tops. Whereas knowing someone your whole life, it's a different sort of, aura.
Yeah,
almost.
It's a different bond. Yeah.
But
I think people can tell. Yeah.
It's funny because Mog has done videos with his brother more than I've done anything with my brother. I think I've done like 2 videos, and it's funny to see yourself evolve as you do it, because I know my brother and I know what he's capable of in terms of entertainment and joke-wise, that we're a lot similar. But because I've been doing this for so long and he hasn't, like he comes in and he'll do a video now, like almost 2 years into me doing YouTube videos, and he's not as good as me. Like I can tell he just doesn't know how to talk when doing a video. So it's just funny because I'm like, dude, like if you were doing this whole time, you'd be just as good as me. But it's just weird how we kind of split off there because of that. And I think what is so interesting about you and your brother is because I can't really think of any other bigger, more substantial channels where there are 2 brothers like that. So
exactly.
there's always like the people that will do something with their brother once in a while, but it seems like there's always one person that's really into it and the other one that's not like so much into it. But you guys are both into it like pretty much equally, So that's why I think it's interesting for a lot of people to look at that case and just kind of examine it and be like, I wonder what it underlies there, But knowing you and what you've said, I know you're the kind of guy that doesn't get upset or too worried about that kind of stuff. So, of course, you take it all in stride, and you've done well for yourself with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just putting ourselves into your shoes, I wouldn't be upset with my brother, or really hate that connection, and I'm sure Gary wouldn't either.
No, I know, of course not.
In either position, I wouldn't care, your brother.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
I was gonna say, I just think it's because there are similar situations like in Hollywood and stuff where there is that negativity, so people kind of try to project that on other people that are in a similar situation. When in our cases, at least, it's nowhere near the same as it is in some of those other situations.
We're just average Joes.
Yeah, we're just average Joes. Joes and Johns. Can't get more average than that.
Gary and Glenn.
Gary and Glenn, the 2 G's and the 2 J's. Yeah. So one more final question before we let you off into the internet lands. This is a kind of longer one and more complex question. It's, what do you think of the community as it was maybe 1 or 2 years ago compared to how it is now? Is there more or less interaction and support between bigger or smaller channels and the fan base?
Yeah, so the community, like YouTube and Minecraft mainly, you're thinking?
Basically our community. Like the Let's Play community is kind of bigger than what we're a part of, but we're pretty much centric around like Minecraft, but a little bit beyond that in some ways. What do you think of this community that we have, that we're a part of, and how it's changed over the last couple of years? Do you think it's changed for the better, for the worse, maybe in between, some good things or some bad things that have changed about it? Just your personal experience and your view of what you've seen happen.
Yeah, as far as what I've seen, like, I can't say I've noticed too much of a difference, partially because I'm still getting to know it as time goes on. There's more things I'm learning about the community. So, things I know about it now may have already been there last year that I didn't, that I just didn't know about at the time. Yeah, but for the most part, like, as far as the Minecraft YouTube community, I think it's awesome. I think it's probably the most supportive of any gaming community out there.
Yeah.
I've mentioned before how, I kind of got into YouTube gaming with Call of Duty.
Oh, there you go. There's a polar opposite.
And, yeah. And then, like, I loved the game, and I loved watching YouTube videos, the content creators and stuff. I just loved it all. And I'd look through the comments and I'd be like, holy cow, these people are mad. And I'm just like, why are you so angry? And I'm just like, well, maybe it's just like the guns and the shooting and stuff. But then, Minecraft comes around and that explodes and like everybody's just happy and having a good time.
Yeah.
But as it goes on, of course, there's always going to be, mean people in comments or communities or whatever. That's always going to happen. But it's pretty small for the most part. Another thing I like about the community is like there's a lot of charity live streams. I think that's kind of increasing as time goes on.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
And I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know the entire history, but you got to think I don't think anyone's raised anywhere near as much for charity as Kurt J. Mack has, and he's actually one of the first people that I watched, and one of the people that I kind of wish I could emulate in a way because of his podcast style and everything, So, like, I actually found your brother through one of the Flobathons, so it kind of all goes back to him for me, and it's cool to see him not only be able to do what he does full time, but also be able to raise so much money for charity, and of course the fan base as well, because they're the people donating the money. So yeah, that's definitely, it's good for the community because everyone's close for the most part, it seems, and they're doing something productive as well for like the charities and stuff like that. So it makes the community look even better from the outside, as you already know it is on the inside. Just like you go to another gaming group and it's just all, like you said, just negative back and forth. Angry people, frustrated and stuff. Yeah. And you go to the Minecraft community, and for the most part, it's everyone banding together to help one person or one charity or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, so we've kind of spoken a little bit to like the community as far as fans and their interaction with the producers, but what do you think about the tie between like the content producers themselves, like? So strictly just the people actually making the videos. How do you think that's changed?
Yeah, as far as the people actually making the videos, I personally haven't seen too much of a change. Like, when I first got into it, like, when I first started watching my brother, like, before I got my channel going, he was doing a lot of stuff on the Minecraft server, and I just loved it. I just loved watching it, and any collaboration he'd do on there. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't know. I personally don't feel like there's too much of a difference.
Right. Which is actually almost surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had asked me when I first discovered Minecraft, which at the time I just thought it was amazing, like the most incredible thing in the world. I probably would have thought that by now there would be more, competition. Not competition, because it's not actually, hostile or anything, but just more servers and more people up in the spotlight, which I always thought was really interesting. How things have been moving.
Yeah. Now, I hope I'm answering the question correctly. What do you guys think as far as that? Like, I know I'm the interviewee, but
flip mode on this.
To bring the question back on you guys, have you guys noticed much of a difference as far as the interaction between channels?
Well,
like,
I've seen definitely that because more and more people start making videos, because I think more people start channels every day than quit. So as time goes on, there are more and more people trying to start channels, and there's sort of this mentality that if you don't have a server to go to, you got to get one.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
definitely...
think because of that, what's happened is the small community. I always call it the sub community because it's like the people who are like really out of the spotlight. A couple thousand subscribers maybe, or a couple hundred. Mm-hmm. They've really fragmented and formed like tons and tons of little tiny servers that are all trying to like kind of climb towards the light. It's interesting. It's like a bunch of plants at the bottom of a rainforest with all these big trees, blocking all the light. So if one thing has really changed that I've noticed, it's that people have really, on the small scale, started to form all sorts of different small groups and everything, rather than being one whole big community, I think.
One thing is that, like, it has had to have evolved over the last couple of years because the game has basically changed, and I'm not talking about Minecraft itself. I mean, the YouTube Let's Play game has changed because it went from people just like having fun, doing it for fun. Then they realized, oh wait, now we're making money doing this.
Right.
We could do this.
This is a career.
This is a career. So now we got to start thinking business. And so most people have almost went from a full fun mentality to full business. I've seen a couple examples, and some people kind of have changed up a little bit to where they've almost closed off anyone outside their inner circle and tried to focus just on what can I do to keep my channel going, what can I do to grow my channel. And of course, when that's your sole income, of course that should be a top priority over
right.
A lot of other things. But at the same time, I think you lose sight a little bit if you're all business.
But that mentality then, even for the people who are doing it full time, it settles down sort of to the people just starting. Adopt that, they copy what they see is successful. So some of the people just starting or on the bottom, have that sort of business mentality still.
Yeah. I think there's a problem too with the people have kind of caused the problem that are in what you call the sub community, and it's perpetuated this belief that anyone outside the below a certain mark, they're not worthy of any kind of attention, because there's a lot of people that I notice just don't know what they're doing or know what they want out of doing YouTube or why they're doing it. And that's because a lot of them are young kids that don't know. They're just having fun. They're doing it. But at the same time, they think, oh, well, I want a shout out here. Or I want this guy to notice me. I want my channel to be big. And like for example, I know one guy, I'll even name him MindMaster23. We did a video with him. When he came to me, he had like 10 subscribers and he was asking me about this and that. I'm like, well, answer this for me. What do you want to do with your channel? What's the reason for it? And he's like, oh, I never even thought about that. And I'm like, see, that's the thing. There's a lot of people that are lower that now, because they're getting into it as it's already become almost a business, they're coming into it with a business mindset. And that's not totally bad. Cause I mean, like, look back in the day at professional sports, basketball, for example. Pretty much every sport started just as a college sport, and then it became, okay, well, now we can make money doing this. So just because the people that started for fun didn't make money doesn't mean that no one else shouldn't have that mentality going forward that, oh, now I can make money doing this, so now that's what I want to do, So I think that's kind of, it's a weird transition trying to go from more of a structured ladder of, okay, this is how I reach that level of success. Because now, of course, the sports, you start in high school, you work hard, you go to the right college, you get drafted.
There's a formula.
There's nothing there right now, structure wise, and it's because also no one knows how long this whole thing is going to last. Anyways, it could last forever. It could last another couple months. And so everyone's, I think, kind of just trying to get whatever they can get out of it as soon as they can, just in case it's not around, instead of kind of nurturing it a little bit more like maybe they should. And so I think what the thing is, because of that, people, there's almost no middle ground. It's kind of, you're at the top or the bottom, and there's a major disconnect there where I think that people are just trying to stay, if they're on top, they're trying to stay up there, and the people on bottom are kind of just trying to crawl up any way they can. And it's not healthy either way for the long-term health of the community, I don't think.
I think so.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think something you said was really important, too. You know, if you're going to start a channel, just think about what the purpose is. And I actually still have my, I wrote a little note. Like, I have a notes application in my phone, and I just wrote down, okay, what are the goals? What do I want to do with this channel? What do I not want to do? You know? And I think if, you know, even if someone does have a channel and they haven't done that, I think it's good to just get that down, and, you know, it's something to reference, you know, when you're starting to, you know, lose focus on your main goals for the channel. So I think that's actually a pretty important thing, and it shows in your videos. You know, if your main goal is, you know, to entertain people, it's going to show. If your main goal is to educate people, it's gonna show.
Right.
Definitely. That's the one major thing that I think is a big detriment to the community, is that there's too many people making channels that don't know why they're making them. And so, like, you see like a random channel where they just make something, and then all of a sudden, by fluke, it gets popular and they get a few thousand subscribers. Then you see a guy like working really hard that knows what he's doing, knows what he wants, and is focused, and he's got maybe a lesser, pretty much, or maybe like the same size audience, but he struggled for it and worked for it, and the other guy kind of got it by a fluke, and the viewers aren't really active. Well, if you're a bigger channel and you don't have the time to go look in to see, okay, who's this person or that person trying to maybe get a hold of me for an idea here or there, like, you can't invest that time to look at someone and be able to know if they're worth your time or not, because there's kind of like, everyone's all mixed and mashed together at the lower level, where it's hard to really notice talent, and there's not a lot of people anymore. This is one thing that I think that has changed. There's not a lot of people actively trying to find these people. Like, you go back generic, and pretty much there's a whole laundry list of almost everyone that's been on Minecraft has been featured in Dear Doc, you know? And that's because he went out and actively found people that were talented, that were maybe overlooked or not noticed, and helped make them, maybe help them reach another step in the ladder, you know, and work their way up. But he's not doing that series anymore. I think he hasn't done it in a couple months. There's people that used to do feature stuff. I know Biffa's doing that, which is great. I think he's done the best one that anyone does in terms of the community spotlight and featuring a channel and really going into it. There's not that many people doing that anymore, so I think that is something that I would like to see come back. You know, people actively looking for channels and giving them a break, so then maybe a couple months down the road, oh, now you have this other guy that you helped get his start. Now you can do stuff with him, and he's got a different audience that he's pulling in over here, and it's healthier for the community, because it seems a lot of the time now that pool of bigger guys is kind of shrinking. You pretty much have seen almost everyone do a video with someone, or even a series. There's not anyone going up there, so eventually it's going to be like, okay, this is the same thing I've already seen a bunch of times. It's going to become stale. Mm-hmm. So I think that's one thing. Those are two major things. People starting channels not knowing what they want out of it or where they're going with it, and people at the top not realizing the benefit of getting people up to your level that actually deserve it and have the potential to maybe get up there and do some collabs with you down the road, you know?
Yeah, it's a time thing, but it's an investment.
It is, yeah, for sure. Not everything is immediate. Like, that's the thing. A lot of people want to look for the immediate views or subs or whatever out of a situation. And for example, like you've had like 2 boosts, Joe, with from what I've seen. The first major one was Hermitcraft, right? And then the next one was the B team, the big boost there. So right there, because you got like people had your back and they gave you a chance, and then it's your job after that to continue on, and you've done that pretty well. It hasn't been easy. I think one of the problems you've had was consistency. You've been busy with work and everything like that, so it's been hard for you to stay consistent. But when you've been working hard, like doing the streams and stuff, I see it working out too, and then you get the opportunities and you take advantage of it. Because I see people that get on like a server like that, and they don't do as many videos as they should because they're not taking advantage of the situation. And I think you definitely have done that. You've been given the opportunity and you've taken advantage of it. And you're a perfect example. Maybe say a year down the road, you're a big channel up there with some of those other guys. Then they could look back and say, "Oh, well, we helped this guy out, and he took the ball and ran with it." So maybe that's an example of something that should be looked into more. Helping someone, give them the ball, see what they do with it. And then down the road, they're going to be another bigger channel if the cream rises to the top, so to speak.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that is something important. It is. I like your analogy with sports, at least. You get a chance to get up on the stage, and what you got to do is when you get that opportunity, just do your best and go all out.
For sure.
If you get put on that stage and you just go half-hearted at it, you kind of just blew that opportunity. So that's something for a lot of people who have a channel who get an opportunity, and that's just a big thing to keep in mind. Just do your best.
All right.
So
well,
I guess that's it for the interview portion of this podcast. Is there anything else we want to talk about, Joe, or no?
I know we were talking about spilling ketchup on my shirt earlier. I think I'm done with that. So
okay. You got all
right.
up.
Well,
you got your time to go.
Right. Well, I do want to thank you guys for having me on. This is pretty fun.
For joining us. Yep. Just the beginning.
We push the boundaries.
Yeah, we push the boundaries. we make you think a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Put you in the hot seat.
It's like taking the SAT.
Right.
You did pretty well. B+.
B+. B+++.
I accept that. I'll accept a B+++.
All right. Well, thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. See you guys.
See ya. Okay, so that is the interview. Pungence had to go off to another business meeting. This time, something to do with mustard, I believe. Yeah, he's going to the mustard factory to discuss some kind of business deal with the people over there, which is weird.
And his suit this time is actually clean, so
yeah,
he better relish the moment.
He better, yeah, because it's going to be hard to catch up on old times.
Yeah,
if he's spending all of his time dealing with mustard stains or something.
Yeah, that joke was pretty sour, Kraut.
Oh, I see what you did there.
All right. Well, listening to the podcast. If you want to catch Pungence, you can go to youtube.com/AssyrianAssassin with one.
with one in there somewhere.
Or just look up Pungence.
If you search Pungence, I think if you search Pungence, he's right up there at the top.
Yeah.
So go check him out, subscribe to him, view to him, and like to him.
Yep. And more importantly than any of that, subscribe to us.
Oh, yeah, of course. Who are we? Anyways, what's your channel again?
Mogswamp. YouTube.com/Mogswamp.
Okay, and my channel, of course, YouTube.com/Adulget. That's ADULGET. So
you
get
spelled it
on
wrong.
it. ADUEL.
There you go.
ADUELGET. So get on it. Now I got to make the other one and redirect it. Shit.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
So you can catch us there, and if you like the podcast, please try to, we just started, so share it around on Twitter.
Share it around for sure.
Share it around town. Show your mom.
Show
she
your
won't
mom.
Understand it. She really there's a generation gap, but maybe she'll. I don't know. She can try.
And remember, we're gonna try to do these once a week if we can. We're going to try to line up some other guests after this, so we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, you can still hashtag PlayItForward yourself. Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Use the hashtag.
And
we're pretty easy to contact. So
yes.
If you ever want to contact us for any reason, do so on Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter, YouTube, comment somewhere.
Or pretty much
just
anywhere.
The inbox thing, though, on YouTube's a little bit kind of sketchy. It's hard to keep up with that, so Twitter's probably the best option altogether.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you all next time.
See you guys next time. Well, we won't see you, but you'll hear us.
We'll speak to an invisible you.
Yes.
Okay. See ya!
See ya.